Now, putting up all these sensors, we get this kind of setup. There is a treadmill, there are sensors, there is a machinery, there is a signage, there are doorways, where all of these are applied. I hope from the next time onwards, whenever there is an electromechanical door, you people will see through it and check what kind of sensors are being attached to it. Another picture for generation of those small electrical pulses is being demonstrated here. And in the next, we have a flooring system that generates electricity from pedestrian and vehicular traffic. This has been actually implemented in Japan, and now the Delhi Metro is planning to start this. They are planning that all the signages, जितने भी हमारे sign के symbols वहाँ लगे हुए हैं, और वो लोग जितनी machines जो electricity consume कर रही हैं, इससे वही के वही generate हो रहा है, और वही के वही use हो रही है. This is now one life of sensors. बच्चों, there is another term for it coming up. That's green computing. Have you heard about it? What's so green about green computing? हमारे कंप्यूटर को हरा पेंट कर देंगे तो ग्रीन कंप्यूटिंग नहीं होगी, या फोन और टैबलेट्स हरे हो जाएंगे तो ग्रीन कंप्यूटिंग नहीं होगी, उन पर पौधे लगा देंगे तब भी नहीं होगी. This is all about utilizing your every part, every bit of machinery, the energy stored in it, to the max. आपने अभी देखा कुछ तरह के सेंसर्स मैंने आपको दिखाए, कहाँ कौन से हमारे मैकेनिकल काम हो रहे हैं, बॉडी ह्यूमन बीइंग चल रहा है, व्हीकल चल रहा है, every signal is being. I think this is what stop working. It's working, please. So based on all this, let's now come up to the next stage. This was the previous stage of science that was applicable to the entire human community some 3 years back. आज की नहीं है. The next stage is your sensor networks. अभी बात पहले एक सेंसर की हो रही थी, अब उनका नेटवर्क बना दिया गया है. कैसे? By definition, it is a combination of a large number of sensors. We have 50, 100 or even more than that. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा कि कई बार न्यूज में आता है हमारे देश में इतने बाघ रह गए, इतने शेर जिंदा हैं. अब शेरों की काउंटिंग कौन करेगा? जंगल में कितने आदमी भेजे हुए, एक शेर आज आपको याद देखा गया था, सुबह वो कहीं और मिल गया, फिर कैसे होगा? So all those counts are being implemented using some kind of sensors. And above it, more higher on it, these large sensors that you have just seen are now being transformed into small units, micro sensors के ऊपर बात आ गई, which are as small as your buttons in the coat or a jacket. और अब वो उतने सेंसर सिग्नल कर रहे हैं, और वो सारे सिग्नल मिल करके एक जो हम डाटाबेस की बात अभी कर रहे थे, डेटाबेस, वो सारे के सारे कंप्लीट डेटाबेस का पार्ट बन गए. The signals that are being emitted by them, those small sensors, are now being collected, and the development of any kind in an area, maybe a battlefield, maybe a medical hospital, or a road, or a school, or maybe some kind of this hall, how many seats are occupied, or how many fans are working, or how many ACs are working. All such things are being now controlled by the micro sensors. Now, there is one fundamental difference between these sensor networks, so-called micro sensors and ad hoc networks. Those of you who must have heard about it or read about networking or wireless networks, or later on the later stage, the ad hoc networks, बता सकते हो क्या था? Initially we started with a cable network, that was a wired network, thereon to a wireless network, thereon to an ad hoc network कि जब जरूरत है कुछ मशीन्स कहीं पर भी लगाई, नेटवर्क एस्टेब्लिश किया, disband it and move on to some other place. A few of my friends in DRDO they don't rely on Chinese equipment. They say that whenever we use the Chinese equipment on our army tank, the information might be transmitted to the enemy. What they do? एक छोटा सा एडॉक नेटवर्क 10 ट्रेन का 20 ट्रेन का शुरुआत किया, अपने अपने सेंसर्स लिए, अचानक इतने बजे एक फिक्स टाइम पे स्टार्ट किया, 3 घंटे के ऑपरेशन के बाद all those are closed and the same set of sensors are being transported to some other part of country, कहीं और से उनको दूसरा नेटवर्क दिया. It's just like कि हम अपना रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज करते हैं, वहां पे उन्होंने सेंसर चेंज कर लिए उतने टाइम में. So एडॉक नेटवर्क्स और से रिलेटेड तो है हमारा सेंसर, मगर एडॉक नेटवर्क्स आपके पीर टू पीर कम्युनिकेशन करते हैं, वन मशीन टू द अदर. सेंसर्स आपके एक सेंसर से दूसरे से तीसरे को डेटा नहीं जाता. It senses, it transmits, it sends the signal and it finishes the work. Now the applications in present world, as I told you, the military applications, all of these are now being implemented by DRDO, Metcalf houses in New Delhi, and the same you can find out on the anytime when you roam around in that place. They have certain areas of the library where every student is allowed. वहाँ ऐसा नहीं है प्राइवेट एरिया अलग है और नॉन प्राइवेट एरिया अलग है जहाँ आप जाकर के इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So how these battlefield assessments are made? सर्वेलेंस आप कर सकते हो, ड्रोन भेजा आपने, आपके फ्लाइट में फोटोग्राफ्स लिए और आपके पास डेटा ट्रांसमिट होकर के आ गया डेटाबेस में कि ये पहाड़ी थी, पहाड़ी के ऊपर फला एरिया के ऊपर इतनी नई डेवलपमेंट हुई जो पहले नहीं था, आसपास नया कुछ आया. बट बियॉन्ड दैट, these sensors or these sensor networks now are able to detect the nuclear, biological and chemical attacks. How? That's a wonderful question. That the sensors are now being designed to perform specific tasks. One of kind of sensor may be accepting some nuclear radiation, other may be accepting some biological change, other may be accepting some chemical signal, and likewise. Any message? Oh, sorry. That's why वो वहाँ मुस्कुराहट कुछ कम हो रही थी लास्ट में, मुझे लग रहा था कि नजर नहीं आ रहा आपको. चलिए. And similarly there are environment applications like I told you about the counting of tigers in the country. Beyond that, Hyderabad has various lakes in and around the city. Now people, the localites over there were using the water of lakes for doing their own washing and household purposes. They were using to drain out the chemicals into those drains, and the same water was being used for drinking at the other end of the lake. The Hyderabad University over there, they developed some kind of sensor system, and they put sensors around the lake. Whenever a person or an animal, stray dog or something like that comes near the lake, a signal is immediately sent to the municipal corporation, and the people detect and they come to the place and they take care of the things कि वहाँ पे कोई उस पानी को गंदा ना करे. ये हमारे इंडिया में ही इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो रही है. अब हमारे कंप्यूटर साइंस के जो स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं आज के दिन, वो सिर्फ आपके ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम जावा, C++, something in programming or something in database, or a few of them in artificial intelligence. They don't go on it, don't think beyond it. But these are the areas where you have excellent job opportunities in the research, in the manufacturing, in the implementation. There are 3 different kinds of job aspects to this. Then we have sensor networks for health applications. I'll come up to this topic again. Now, how does such a network is designed? How many of you have read computer networks? Networking technologies, Tannenbaum, सुना है, पढ़ा है? क्या पढ़ा उसके अंदर? Initially, first 4 chapters were your networks, network devices, controllers, and beyond that, chapter 5, 6, 7, you had your OSI model. TCP/IP model. The same models are used to implement sensor networks. There is nothing new with this. हम लोग ये सोचते हैं कि नया नेटवर्क आ गया, कुछ नई चीज आएगी, नहीं. The basic fundamentals, the basic principles are the same. Now this is just an implementation of network, sensor network. We have put some 50-60 networks in a closed room, and these are being connected via net to a satellite, and the reports are being read in some other area. Then we come up to the factors influencing the design. We have fault tolerance. अब हर एक नेटवर्क हर मौसम में हर जगह काम नहीं कर सकता. आपका एप्पल फोन बना हुआ है कौन सी कंडीशंस के लिए? जहां डस्ट नहीं है. Majority of phones of your even the initial touch panels of Samsung Star और वो सब आए थे, इंडिया में आकर के एक बार फेल क्यों हुए थे? There was too much of dust over this place, और dust कहीं ना कहीं स्क्रीन के अंदर जा रहा था, and they failed like anything. Majority of the copiers of Xerox and Canon initially failed in this country, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ dust free environment नहीं था और जो उनके sensors, the sensing the insertion of page and the what they call ferry, the controller that is counting the pages inside or that is taking the pages inside, the ferry fails after some time. Dust लगी और dust लगते ही वो sensors खत्म हो गए. So based on those factors, there are other factors also, the supply of electricity, the supply of, because sensor आप कहीं से लगा तो दोगे उसमें continuous power supply चाहिए. Maybe in a remote area you can put it on a solar system, but for a system like this or a system like metro trains, you have to put it on a continuous power supply. So they need a continuous supply of electricity or electric current to work. So all these factors are being considered while implementing such kind of sensor networks. So I am skipping a few of this. Transmission media, yeah. Now all these sensors, maybe your cell phone or maybe your the ones that you have seen in your toll gates or in the metro gates or somewhere, these are based on three types of transmitters: radio, infrared or optical media. Any questions for these three kinds of media? कुछ पूछना चाहो मैं अभी एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए रेडी हूँ, प्लीज. Now this is the architecture of sensor network. It is based on the same model that your TCP/IP that you have just read in your course curriculum. All the layers are same, starting from your application to your physical layer. Now a few interesting applications. मेरा एक स्लाइड मैंने कहा था अभी बाद में बताऊंगा, आ रही है इसके बाद ही. This is a ring developed by Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The ring sensors receive information from around the patient. Maybe the climate, maybe the temperature of the AC, maybe the lights. Patient सो रहा है, patient को light अलग पे चाहिए. Cooling किसको किस environment पे चाहिए. Everything is being monitored. Secondly, there is a nose, a chip on the nose, perfectly suiting your Indian conditions. Now this is something जो मैंने आपको ट्रांसड्यूसर दिखाया शुरू में, आज के दिन उसका माइक्रो जो बन गया वो ये नोज रिंग में डाल दिया उन्होंने. This MEM is your micro electrical mechanical sensor. So electromechanical sensor was your transducer, and now they have made a micro of it that is being put into your MEMS. ठीक है, then they have a device called I button. Three types of I buttons are there. आप लोगों ने देखे हुए हैं, बोल नहीं रहे हो या ध्यान नहीं है. I am not able to judge that.
By which we are going to use our resource. Let me make it very simple. Suppose this auditorium is my resource, right? How I am going to use this auditorium on these methods, this is the example. I will take example of TDM. Currently, this seminar hall is using a technique called time division multiple access. How? From 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, speaker one has taken the dais and given a lecture on this. Then 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, another speaker has taken the dais and delivered the lecture. So how? The same seminar being utilized by all the different speakers at their time intervals. Right now, third slot is given to me, so I am using it. This is how I am using the resource. So when I am using the resource on the time domain, it is time DDMA. When I am using on the frequency domain, it is FDMA. What I am trying to elaborate is, these are the basic techniques which describes the basics of your mobile technology. GPRS, GSM, all these things are working on TDM and CDMA. CDMA phones, 3G phones are working on WCDMA techniques. And what is coming in the future, that is LTE and 4G, is based on OFDMA technique, which is not new to the BC and MCA students. So, OFDMA is the access method which is going to be used in LTE and LTE Advanced. Okay, I am just want to ask another question. From data point of view, if I want to send a data from point A to point B, and I have 5 options. In option number 1, there are 5 intermediate nodes between A and B. Next option, there is 3 intermediate nodes between A and B. And last option, there is no intermediate node between A and B. In which scenario I will able to transmit, or I will able to get high throughput? In option 1, option 2 or option 3? 3. Why you are giving this answer? That means you don't want an intermittent delay between A and B, because every time when data is received by any entity, it is being processed and then it is forwarded. Same is there in the case of mobile communication. The slide which is being shown here, you find that when we are using HSDP and now moving towards LTE, the number of devices coming in between user and the network is coming low. Say in the case of HSDP, there is SDSN, GGSN, RNC and all these things. But when we go to the LTE, we have only 2 nodes. So it directly shows that less number of nodes coming into the picture between user and the network. So latency time will be low and you will attain a high throughput, which has been guaranteed in LTE and LTE bus. That is why LTE and LTE is targeting 1 Gbps data rate over the year. This is the basic relation between the throughput or what data rate we are getting and the architecture being used. Okay. The beauty of LTE. LTE is what? Because I have not discussed LTE. LTE is the future coming technology, performs stands long-term evolution. Okay. Now you are not from the technical telecommunication background, so I am not going to detail all these things. But still, I can make you understand that how LTE is related to high-speed data rate and which is able to give you high-speed internet services on your mobile phone. So as a now, very first slide topic of LTE is shorter TTI. TTI stands for transmission time interval. It means that in the case of LTE, we are transmitting data at very high speed rate. That means transmission time between the mobile network towards the user is on the rate of 1 millisecond. So when we are using shorter TTI, it means that we are going to achieve high throughput. which is the main advantage in the case of LTE. Then second is LTE is using hybrid ARQ technique, which is very much known to everybody because MCA, BCA students are knowing the ARQ and hybrid ARQ technique. So ARQ is being used extensively in the case of LTE. Now, keep apart all the network changes and all the things. As a user, what you will get from LTE? You will get high speed, you will experience low latency, your movie upload download time gets reduced, and your network gets simple because what we have discussed in the case of very example point of view that there is very less number of nodes between you and the server in that network end. So this is the benefits of LTE. And from the operator point of view, what is the benefit? That the operator which is providing you the 4G services is able to give you 4G services on the demand basis. That means the area which is highly requiring high data rate services, it can put a LTE network there, keeping apart all the unutilized area. Next, LTE is going to use another interesting feature that is called self-organizing network. Okay, before we go to self-organizing network, I would like to ask you few problems that you are facing while using mobile communication. आप बात करते करते बात कट जाती है, आप बात कर रहे हैं, आपका सिग्नल बंद हो जाता है, ये सारी प्रॉब्लम आपके पास आती है. कारण क्या हो सकता है? कुछ आइडिया? सिग्नल नहीं आता. ओके, सिग्नल इज नॉट देयर. नेक्स्ट, that is your problem, not the network problem. Okay, I can guess. First, Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Twitter, all these services are meant for data only. It is not the voice application, right? These are the applications which are getting added after the introduction of GSM and all that. These are IT services, right? In the case of 4G, every thrust and every push is given to the IT services only. That means you are converging IT services on your mobile. With your mobile, you can do the banking, you can go for railway ticket transactions, you can have an interactive gaming, everything. Now you are not talking about the call and call and all that, because you are using data service. So 4G mobile is capable of all these things, and it will give you a vast multimedia experience, so that you can feel that you are not using a mobile phone, you are using a desktop PC. Very good example. What is this live video reporting? जब LTE इंट्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा, उस केस में क्या होगा कि आपका अभी आपने देखा होगा कि कहीं पे कुछ एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो वहाँ पे रिपोर्टर जाते हैं, उनके साथ कोटी वैन जाती है, वो वहाँ से रिपोर्टिंग करते हैं, सैटेलाइट तक जाता है, सैटेलाइट से वापस आपके स्टूडियो आता है, फिर वहाँ से डिस्पैच होता है आपके टीवी और उससे. There is a delay between, because you are transmitting everything towards the satellite, then coming back, so there is a delay of seconds. But when you introduce the LTE, you will not record that particular report on your normal camera. You will use your mobile phones, and that mobile phone is directly connected to your mobile network. So the up and down delay of the satellite communication is being minimized, and you will find very fast reporting, and there is no upload and download time in the case of reporting when you are using a mobile phone for the reporting, not the camera. This is the thing which I was talking right now, because आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट थी कवरेज बढ़ाने की। अभी आप बोला कि मैं कमरे के अंदर उसका कवरेज नहीं मिले बिकॉज द BTS इज फार बिहाइंड योर दिस पर्टिकुलर साइट. So in the case of LTE, the concept of repeating unit or relay units are being used, which is nothing but it will take the signal from the main transmitting base station and it will relay to you. So in case an operator wants to give an LTE coverage inside this particular auditorium, it can put a relay node here. It can on the backend side fetch the signal from the base station and transmit to all the users here. So by this way you can feel that okay, coverage is inside the auditorium, but it is not virtue of that particular base station. It is virtue of your repeater node which is available very near to you. So this concept will be used in LTE to enhance the coverage. And lastly, this is very much interesting feature. Generally, what we are thinking that whenever we are communicating with anybody else, we are sending our signal to the base station, and then we are going to network, and then my call is being matured. Find a situation where two friends, both are sitting in the same area, want to transmit a 1 GB file. Then what is the way that they can transmit 1 GB file using their mobile phone? Right now आपका इसका आंसर है, अगर आपके फ्रेंड्स और आप अगल बगल बैठे हैं और आप 1 GB की फाइल एक दूसरे को ट्रांसफर करना चाहते हैं, क्या ऑप्शन है आपके? कैसे होता है वो? वाईफाई से। हॉटस्पॉट में क्या होता है, आपका मोबाइल ट्रांसमिट करता है, बगल वाला रिसीव करता है। बट इसमें लिमिटेशन है, वो जो आप एयर फ्रीक्वेंसी यूज कर रहे हो वो अनलाइसेंस्ड है, राइट? वो ट्रैक नहीं हो सकती है। LTE में ये फीचर आता है कि आप उसी रेडियो स्पेक्ट्रम की फ्रीक्वेंसी यूज करोगे, बट आप ट्रांसमिशन के लिए BTS पे नहीं भेजोगे, आप डायरेक्ट पीयर टू पीयर ट्रांसमिशन कर सकते हैं। That means you will use the same radio network frequency, but you will not send your data towards the base station. You will transmit that data towards your neighboring friend. But इसके रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है? आपको असिस्टेंस कौन देगा? आपको असिस्टेंट देगा आपका नेटवर्क, बताने के लिए कि आपका 4G enabled हैंडसेट वाला फ्रेंड आपके बगल में है, जब पीयर का जो डिस्क्लोजर है वो आपको नेटवर्क मिलेगा, देन यू विल ट्रांसमिट. एंड लास्ट is this. This is the last slide. Suppose I want to extend that coverage up to 50 km or 30 km. What is the way? I have to plan multiple transmitter stations in between, and it can relay one to another. But now the things are being going in the direction where your mobile phone is being used as a BTS for another mobile phone. So your mobile phone will receive a signal, and this mobile phone will act as a BTS or the base station to other devices. So in this way, if you are on the verge of the cell, you will provide the coverage to the other entity, other mobile subscriber which are out of the cell area. So in this way, we can enhance the coverage, which is a major issue in mobile communication system. And last, what is the vision in case of 4G? Everything that benefits from being connected should be connected. आपकी टीवी, वॉशिंग मशीन, आपका मोबाइल, डोर कैमरा, जितनी चीजें कनेक्ट हो सकती हैं, सब कनेक्ट हो सकती हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ मोबाइल कम्युनिकेशन। और ये आपका विजन है 4G and 5G से। दिस
जब नासा में 30-40% हमारे इंजीनियर्स हो सकते हैं, बड़े-बड़े हॉस्पिटल्स में अब्रॉड में डॉक्टर्स हो सकते हैं, तो क्या हम अपने देश में रह के क्यों नहीं कर सकते? मेन प्रॉब्लम हम लोग दूसरों को पॉइंट आउट करते रहते हैं गाली में। कभी ये सोचा कि हम क्या कर सकते? टेलीकॉम के नए कोर्स की बात हो रही है, ये कोर्स थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, लेकिन जो सजेशंस हैं इन सब लोगों ने दिए हैं, मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप थोड़ा भी, जो लोग बाहर से आए हैं, प्रोफेसर लोग मेरे ख्याल बाहर की कॉलेज से भी होंगे, आप भी अपने कॉलेजेस में जाके कर सकते हो कि कोई आपको आगे नहीं बढ़ाएगा, ये आपको खुद बढ़ना है और कोई आपको पीछे नहीं रख सकता, आपको खुद पीछे रखना है। इस सब के साथ मैं दोबारा से आप सब लोगों का जितने मैं बड़ी शांति से आप मेरे को सुन रहे हैं, ये कहते कहते कि मैंने लास्ट टाइम कुछ लाइनें सुनाई थी, दोबारा से इजाजत हो सर दोबारा से। ये आप लोगों के ऊपर है, यंग लोगों के लिए। और अक्सर मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी कहा था कि जो बुजुर्ग होते हैं वो ये कहते हैं हमने झंडे गाड़ दिए कहते हैं ना, और बच्चे बिल्कुल काम नहीं करते। उन पर मैंने सर कुछ लाइनें लिखी थी, हमारे सीनियर अफसर हर समय ये कहते रहते थे कि ये जो यंग लड़के लड़कियां काम नहीं करते हैं। तो मेरे को एक दिन बहुत गुस्सा आया, मेरे अंदर कुछ लोग काम करते थे यंग, तो मैंने कुछ लाइनें लिखी थी, लास्ट टाइम भी सुनाई थी, दोबारा सुनाता हूँ। चाहे कमल है खिलता कीचड़ में, चाहे कमल है खिलता कीचड़ में, पर अलग ही उसकी आभा है इस नए समय की नई फसल को जीने का अंदाजा है। चाहे कमल है खिलता कीचड़ में, पर अलग ही उसकी आभा है इस नए समय की नई फसल को जीने का अंदाजा है। बीते लम्हों को अच्छा कहना नवयुग को देना गाली है। बीते लम्हों को ही अच्छा कहना नवयुग को देना गाली है, और इतिहास गवाह है हर युग ने अपनी किस्मत लिख डाली। ये तो तुम पर निर्भर है, ये तो तुम पर निर्भर है कि भूले बिसरे गीत बनो। ये तो तुम पर निर्भर है कि भूले बिसरे गीत बनो। या ध्रुव तारा बनकर के अंधियारे को गमगीन करो, पर जब तक जीवन शेष रहे हर कण कण की रखवाली हो, और जिस डाली पर बैठे हो देखो टूटे ना डाली हो, देखो टूटे ना डाली हो।
And the entire, let me call it, fraternity of next generation information technology innovators here together to the chief guest, Professor R.K. Khandal, Vice Chancellor UPTU, Lucknow, who had given his consent months ago in spite of his busy schedule in reflecting importance he attaches with this event. I extend my very hearty vote of thanks to our guest of honor, Mr. R.K. Bhatnagar, Advisor Technology DOT, Government of India, New Delhi, who had given us a lot of ideas when we met him. I also convey my hearty vote of thanks to second guest of honor, Professor N.K. Goyal, President CMAI, New Delhi, for his timely guidance to make this seminar a great success. Let me express my gratitude to Mr. R.K. Upadhyay, ex-CMD BSNL, keynote speaker for the national seminar, for this valuable and eye-opening note about the topic of the seminar. A big thank to Mr. V.K. Arya and Chairman now of our Computer Advisory Committee of IPM for his efforts and support towards suggesting the blunt honorable guest of honor and keynote speaker and lot of guidance time to time to me especially. I would also like to show my gratitude to Dr. Kishore Kumar, Member Computer Advisory Committee, IPM, for his valuable guidance during discussions. I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. A.K. Chobe, Chairperson Technical Session 1, for sparing time in spite of his busy schedule. We also must mention our deep sense of thanks to Professor Dr. Nilesh Chauhan and Dr. D.N. Kartian, Deputy General Manager, Dr. D.K. Sharma, Principal Scientist and Head SPC NITRA Ghaziabad, for giving an excellent coverage of Agile, Cloud Computing and Data Mining. I also wish to express my gratitude to Mr. Kshitish Sharma, Project Manager TCS, Noida, Chairperson Technical Session 2, Professor Sumit Will, MDU Rohtak, and Mr. Vikas Nigam, Division General from AITC Ghaziabad. And they have given a lot of ideas about distributed network, sensor network, and NGN respectively. We are happy to mention our obligation to all the delegates from academia, industry, government sector, and convey my heartfelt thanks to all. We also express our gratitude to all of the media people for coverage of this event and wide publicity, and printing agency for supplying the material well in time. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record my hearty thanks to the founder of IPM, a great visionary, our mentor, counselor, guide, and a teacher in true sense, Professor Dr. B.S. Goyal, who initiated and inspired us to conduct such a national event. Thank you very much, sir. Our words may not be capable of communicating our sense of gratitude to Colonel Dr. Malhotra, who has motivated us at every step, especially me, and his decades experience is only a cause to get great success of this seminar. My heartfelt thanks to Secretary IPM, Mr. Anupam Goyal, who extended all the help to us to time. I also thank Dean Academic, Madam Sugandha Goyal, all the HODs of various departments at IPM and their presence in the seminar in encouraging us throughout the day. I also convey my thanks to Mr. J.K. Gupta and Ms. Alpana Gupta. They have spared their time to, please us. As anchor at the soul of our program, so I convey my sincere thanks to Madam Yachana Malhotra, who had nicely opened the inaugural session, Ma'am Archana Sharma and Ma'am Meenu Bakhtar for nicely handling the technical session 1 and 2 respectively. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye knowledge, and we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of strongly motivated and dedicated colleagues of mine